Welcome to the Tough Decisions Network for Entrepreneurs. I'm Dan Handford, and my wife, Dennae, and I interview successful people sharing stories behind tough decisions that they've had to make along their journey as an entrepreneur. Before we get started, let's hear from one of our sponsors. Have you ever thought about investing in real estate, but find yourself so busy that you don't have time for it? Do you have FOMO, which is the fear of missing out? At HandfordCapital.com, we help investors with passive real estate investments that project better returns than traditional investment vehicles such as the stock market. If you'd like to find out more about our passive real estate investments, visit HandfordCapital.com. That's HANDFORD Capital.com. We will jump on a call with you to discuss your investment goals and to see if our investments are a good fit for you. This advertisement is not to be construed as an offer or recommendation to buy or sell a security. Visit HandfordCapital.com. This is a very special edition we are going to call our Christmas edition. So Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas to you that are listening. Even if you're listening to this a little bit later than Christmas Day, Merry Christmas. And we really appreciate all of you this entire year. And so because you guys have followed us and because you guys have continued to listen to us, Dennae and I have decided to give you a very special Christmas gift. Be sure to listen to this entire episode. It's not going to be a very long one. We're going to try to keep it at about 10 to 15 minutes. And so you can get the free gift that we're going to give to you. And it's going to be a very valuable gift for you that you'll be able to use as you move into 2019.
Yeah, we racked our brains for hours, lots of blood, sweat, and tears. And actually, that's not too much of a stretch. We have worked all year on this gift, right?
I was going to say, this is a year-long gift.
But we were talking, very recently about what we could do and how we could just, give a little something, for our listeners. And I think we've come up with something that'll be really cool. So yes, definitely listen. Finish out this episode and we'll tell you how to get that gift at the end. So it is a free gift, but you do have to do something, right?
Yes.
So, you have to take that step to get it.
Yeah. And it's not a very hard step. It's
no.
A step. You don't have to go out on the
because we don't know all your addresses to mail
Tough Decisions podcast.
Right. Right.
So one of the things I wanted to mention to you is just a little bit about how we do some of our holiday pay, but so that you guys can have an idea as to how we run things with our team and our staff and stuff like that. But, wanted to, dive in a little bit about what we're doing today on Christmas Day. So what are we doing today, Dennae?
Well, I think one word that would summarize pretty much everything is family. So we'll be in different places, but we'll be with family all day. And I think that's a great way to spend Christmas.
And my family for I don't know how many years has done a very unique Christmas in that we have, on my side of the family, we always get together for a breakfast, right? So a lot of people get together and you do, either lunch or dinner and you have a turkey or ham or, some sort of big meal around, Christmas. And we still have a big meal. It's a really big breakfast.
A really big breakfast.
Yeah, but we always get together. And so I have, there's four children or four
families as far as the children go.
Yeah, there's four families. And so I have three siblings. That's what I was trying to get at, is that I have three siblings, but there's four children in my side of the family from my parents. And so we always try to get together either at my house or at my sister's house. And she lives in Charlotte. So we're about an hour and a half away from each other. And so we usually flip-flop Christmas and Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving this year was done at our house. And so all the family came down to our house for Thanksgiving and got to get together with, and spend some time with family. And now this is going to be Christmas. And so we are going to be getting up really early and driving to Charlotte, North Carolina to spend some time with my sister and her family and all of my family that's going to be meeting there as well.
Right. And, when we were first married, we didn't have any children. That wasn't really that big of a deal. It's become a little bit more of a big deal now that we have four other people to take along with us, but they do really well. So, and it's a lot of fun. So Not that bad.
Yeah. So usually, like even last night, you and I were talking about, what are we going to do, as far as when are the kids going to open up their Christmas gifts, our kids, because when you get up really early in the morning and you have to be there in Charlotte at 9 o'clock, you're getting the kids up early to hop in the car and drive over there and be there by 9 and have a nice breakfast and stuff like that. And then coming back, I think in the afternoon today, we're going to be spending time with your family, right?
Right. So my family, we sort of adjust based on, because I have two siblings, and we try to, I guess to understand the way my family thinks, you have to sort of go back to when I was little, because we had one set of grandparents that lived about 8 hours from us. And so, my parents committed fairly early that, we would definitely make a visit to them sometime during our Christmas break. Both my parents were teachers, so they got about 2 weeks off at Christmas. So we definitely always made a visit, but it wasn't always on Christmas Day. And I guess my parents' philosophy is, you can celebrate Christmas anytime around the season when the family can get together. And so that's kind of what's carried over now. And we sort of adjust that based on what my two sisters are doing and when they can be together, because, the important thing, I think, is being together and setting aside a time to celebrate the holiday for what Christmas really is. But it doesn't have to necessarily be on Christmas. This year, it happens to be on Christmas, so that's exciting. But I also think it's really important that, if each family start their own traditions and their own family celebrations. And so we try to do that as well. Instead of just lumping it in with the grandparents, we try to also have a special celebration with our children, because despite all the traveling that we used to do on Christmas, I still have really good memories of just my immediate family, my two sisters and my two parents celebrating Christmas, whether it's Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve or the day after Christmas, whenever we could get home and it was just us. And I think that's really important.
So talk a little bit about, because I know you're more involved with the HR side of, our businesses. I have obviously an understanding of it, and I set some of the policies earlier on, but you've kind of been the person who's been managing a lot of the benefits side of the team that we have and the holiday pay and stuff like that. So obviously, family is important to us. We want to make sure that we have time for family, but we also want to make sure that our team and our staff have time to be able to spend with their family as well.
Right. So for that, we obviously allow, I think it's 6 holidays a year that the staff gets holiday pay. They get paid for whatever hours they would normally work on that day. So if they're, a 4-day-a-week employee and they work 10 hours a day, then they get paid for 10 hours of holiday pay and adjusted from there.
What about if the holiday ends up on a weekend?
Right. So if the holiday ends up on a weekend, there's typically, you can actually just Google it and see what day is going to be celebrated or taken as a business holiday. So for instance, if Christmas is on a Saturday, usually most businesses will take Friday as well, and they'll give their staff. And so the staff would get Christmas Eve and Christmas off. They would get Friday. And if it's on Sunday, then a lot of times they would take Monday. I know one year we were a little bit creative because I think Christmas and New Year's fell on Sunday that year. And so we gave the staff already got Friday off because most of our offices are closed on Friday. So they got Friday off. They got Saturday and Sunday, obviously, for the weekend. And because New Year's also fell on Sunday, what we did was we took Monday for Christmas and Tuesday for New Year's, the New Year's holiday. So they actually got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday off, which is fairly unusual because to get that much time. And then, of course, we came back to work on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then instead of taking an additional day for New Year's that day, we came back to work on Monday, January 2nd. So
did I approve that?
I'm fairly certain you did. Oh, wait, maybe that was just me. I don't know. But that
sounds like a lot of time off.
I just say that to communicate the fact that sometimes you could be creative. And I think our staff really appreciated that because, they were going to get 2 Mondays off versus, we were able to allow them 5 days in a row, which is almost a full week off. And they didn't miss any pay for that at all. And they still got New Year's Day because it fell on a weekend, and they came back to work on January 2nd. So sometimes you can just be creative and figure out what is best. You don't have to feel pinned into the way someone else does things. But as long as your staff knows that you want to make sure that they get some time off, they get some time to spend with family, I think that's the important thing.
Yeah. Well, and I'm glad that you handle most of that, so I don't have to. So,
Yeah, you're not really one of those detail, let's sit and debate the details kind of person. So
I like to see the details done and then pull it apart.
Well, I was going to say, I tried to get you to help me with that, last night about our planning, and you pretty much just told me to do whatever, right?
Hey, well, sometimes that's just the way it has to happen. But I mean, it's kind of the same thing with some of the stuff we're doing with the real estate. I when we start to talk about underwriting a deal where you're actually analyzing the financial side of things and seeing if the deal is going to actually work, I don't like the piece and the minutia of getting the T12 and the rent roll and kind of moving all those documents and forms and numbers into a spreadsheet to be able to fully analyze it. But I do like to see the finished product and to be able to look at the finished product
and to criticize the finished product and tell them how they should do it, or for me, how I should do things.
Correct. Yeah, you've caught on over the years.
Yes, I figured it out finally.
Well, let's talk about this free gift, because I know we wanted to make this one of this Christmas episode being a little bit shorter, because I know everybody's time is valuable, and instead of listening to us on a Christmas day, you should be spending time with your family. So just wanted to have a little short episode here and then give away this very, very special Christmas gift.
Yes. So I mentioned that we've worked all year on this, and we really have. And so what we want to give you is a list of our top 10 technologies and our top 10 quotes from the entrepreneurs that we've interviewed this year. And what we've done is we've compiled a list, since back in May when we started interviewing people, and I have a list, and I know you have a few as well. And I thought, what a great idea to just sort of compile that all for you guys, because maybe you listen to us in the car or while you're working out or while you're taking a walk or whatever it is. So you may not write down all those things. And so what we've done is we've taken our top 10 or our favorites. In the case of technologies, I think, we basically compiled the ones that were mentioned the most. And we've put that in a document that we would love to give to you for Christmas.
Yes, and when she's talking about technologies, it's if you've been listening to our episodes, at the end of every episode, we ask our series of quick questions and answers that we call the trifecta. And so we ask them, each entrepreneur, what is your favorite technology that you use in business every day to make your life easier as an entrepreneur? And so we've compiled that list and tallied them up and figured out what were the top 10 technologies that have been mentioned over the last year that has really changed and moved the needle for some of these entrepreneurs. And we're going to give you a PDF document. And all you have to do to get that free gift is go to our website, toughdecisions.net. And on that website, you will be able to find a place to subscribe to our email, our weekly entrepreneur email. So in that weekly entrepreneur email, we're going to be giving you throughout the next year in 2019, we're going to be sending you a weekly email and then also telling you about some of the episodes that we have that week, and also including some more of those quotes and those favorite technologies, and maybe even some book recommendations as well, because we have a lot of books that have been recommended as well, and that's something that can be very valuable to you, to be able to learn, to be able to know what books entrepreneurs right now are listening to and right now are doing, and can kind of go from there. So that is our free gift. You can go to toughdecisions.net to get a copy of that free PDF. Just go and subscribe to our weekly entrepreneur email and get that free gift. So thank you so much for joining us today on this very special Christmas edition. Look forward to having you in 2019. Help us get the word out. Share it with your friends. Mention it. Tag us. Give us, if you're on Facebook, join us there. Give us some likes and some loves. Helps us to be able to get the word out about the Tough Decisions for Entrepreneurs podcast. So thank you so much for joining us. Hope you have a good and very Merry Christmas. Thank you for listening to the Tough Decisions Network. Be sure to visit toughdecisions.net to gain access to show notes for this episode and to join our free weekly entrepreneur email, where we will send you news about the latest technology for your business, inspiring quotes, and the latest books for entrepreneurs. That's toughdecisions.net.